The dark ships moved through space like silent shadows. They were far from the sun, hiding behind the ice and rock of the outer planets. Commander Zethkar stood on the bridge of his ship, watching the blue and green world through his screens. Earth looked so small from here, so harmless. Report, Zethkar said to his officer. The humans are still using chemical rockets, Commander. Very slow, very old technology. They have some fusion power plants, but nothing special. They're fastest. Ships take months to reach their red planet. Zethkar nodded. This was what he expected. The Galactic Council had sent his fleet to watch this new species called humans. They needed to know if Earth was a threat. So far, it was not. How long have we been watching them? Zethkar asked. 14 months, Commander. They have not noticed us. Their sensors are too weak. On Earth, Dr. Lisa Monroe sat in her lab, looking at strange readings on her computer screen. She worked for the government, studying space signals. For weeks, she had been seeing odd energy patterns at the edge of their solar system. The signals were weak and came and went quickly. Must be cosmic radiation, she said to herself, or maybe solar flares. But something about the signals bothered her. They seemed too regular, too organized. Lisa had been studying space for 20 years. She knew what natural signals looked like. These were different. She decided to ignore them. The government had more important things to worry about than strange signals from empty space. On Mars, Alex Carter was working late in his small workshop. He was young, only 25, but very smart. He worked as an engineer for the Mars colony, fixing machines and building new equipment. But in his free time, he worked on his own projects. Tonight, he was building something special. It was a small device, no bigger than a phone. Alex had been working on it for months. He called it a pattern reader. It could look at any technology and figure out how it worked. If this works, Alex said to himself, it could change everything. He did not know that alien ships were watching his planet. He did not know that his little device might be the key to saving humanity. Captain Jake Sullivan was flying his patrol ship near Jupiter. He was bored. Space patrol was usually quiet. Nothing ever happened out here, except for the occasional asteroid or broken satellite. But today, his sensors showed something odd. There were energy readings coming from the asteroid belt. Very faint, but they were there. Control, this is Patrol 7, Jake said into his radio. I'm seeing some strange readings near Sector 15. Copy that. Patrol 7. What kind of readings? Energy signatures? Could be equipment malfunction, but I want to check it out. Negative, Patrol 7. Return to base. We'll send a science team later. Jake frowned. He was a good pilot and had good instincts. Something was out there, but orders were orders. Back on the alien ship, Zethkar's officer was watching Jake's patrol ship on the scanner. Commander, one of their ships detected our energy trail. Did they investigate? No, sir. Their command told them to return to base. Zethkar smiled. These humans were not very curious. That was good. It made his job easier. The alien commander walked to his communication center. It was time to send his report to the Galactic Council. High Command, this is Fleet Commander Zethkar. I have completed my study of the human species. The voice that answered was cold and mechanical. Report your findings. The humans are a Level 2 civilization. They have basic space travel, but are limited to their own solar system. Their weapons are chemical and nuclear. Their computers are primitive. They pose no threat to the Council. Recommendation: peaceful annexation. They have useful resources and can be integrated as a worker species. Their planet has good water and minerals. The humans themselves are physically strong and could be useful for manual labor. Understood. Prepare for first contact in 6 months. The Council will decide their fate then. The communication ended. Zethkar felt satisfied. This had been an easy assignment. The humans were weak, and would not resist the Council's plans. On Earth, Dr. Lisa Monroe was still studying her strange signals. She had not told anyone about them, but she kept recording them. There was a pattern. She was sure of it. The signals came in bursts, always at the same time each day. She decided to work late tonight. Maybe she could figure out what was causing them. Meanwhile, Alex Carter had finished his pattern reader. It was a simple device with a small screen and some buttons. He had built it using parts from old computers and some rare metals he had found on Mars. "Time to test it," he said. He pointed the device at his computer. The screen lit up with numbers and symbols. It was working. The device was reading the computer's circuits and showing him exactly how it operated. Alex smiled. This was just the beginning. If he could read any technology, he could learn from it. He could copy it, improve it, maybe even build something better. He did not know that across the galaxy, alien races had been using similar devices for thousands of years. He did not know that his little invention was about to become very important. Captain Jake Sullivan landed his ship at the space station. He was still thinking about those energy readings. Something was bothering him, but he could not figure out what. He decided to check the long-range sensors. Maybe there was something in the files that could explain what he had seen as he looked through the data. He found something interesting. Over the past year, there had been dozens of small energy readings from the outer planets. They were always dismissed as equipment errors or natural phenomena. But Jake saw a pattern. The readings were too regular, too organized. They looked like ship signatures. "Someone's been watching us," he said quietly. Jake knew he should report this to his superiors, but he also knew they would not believe him. He needed more proof. He decided to keep watching. If someone was out there, he would find them. In the cold darkness of space, Commander Zethkar prepared his ships for the next phase of their mission. Soon, they would reveal themselves to the humans. Soon, the fate of Earth would be decided. But Zethkar had made a mistake. He had underestimated the humans. He thought they were simple and weak. He did not know that some humans were already suspicious. He did not know that others were building devices that could change everything. The aliens had been watching Earth for over a year. They thought they knew everything about human technology, but they had only seen what the humans wanted them to see. The real story was just beginning. The morning sky over Washington changed forever when the ships appeared. They were huge, dark shapes that blocked out the sun. Similar ships appeared over London, Tokyo, Moscow, and every major city on Earth. President Maria Santos stood in the White House, looking up at the massive alien craft through the window. She had been president for 3 years, but nothing had prepared her for this moment. "Ma'am, we're getting the same reports from every major city," her aide said. "The ships just appeared out of nowhere. No warning, no radar contact, any hostile actions?" Maria asked. "No, ma'am. They're just ... sitting there." Dr. Lisa Monroe was in her lab when the ships appeared. She had been tracking those strange energy signals for months. Now she knew what they were. The aliens had been watching Earth, and now they were here. Her phone rang. It was the president's science advisor. "Lisa, we need you in Washington immediately. You're now the head of the alien contact team." "I'll be there in 2 hours," Lisa said. She grabbed her research files and headed for the door. Her work on those mysterious signals might finally be useful. On Mars, Alex Carter was working in his shop when the news came through. Alien ships over Earth. First contact. The most important day in human history. He looked at his pattern reader device. It was finished and working perfectly. Maybe it was time to tell someone about it. In space, Captain Jake Sullivan was on patrol when his radio crackled with emergency broadcasts. He turned his ship around and headed for Earth as fast as possible. Those energy readings he had detected were not equipment errors after all. Commander Zethkar stood on his bridge, watching the humans react to their arrival. The alien ships were positioned perfectly over every major population center. It was a show of force, but a peaceful one. Send the message, Zethkar ordered. Every television, radio, and computer screen on Earth suddenly showed the same image. It was an alien face, but not too different from a human. The creature had blue skin and large eyes, but it looked intelligent and calm. People of Earth, the alien said in perfect English, we are the Corvani. We come in peace. We have been watching your world and are impressed by your progress. We wish to meet with your leaders. President Santos was in the emergency meeting room with her top advisors. General Robales, the head of Earth's military, was not happy. This is an invasion, General Hayes said. They position ships over our cities and then talk about peace. It's a classic intimidation tactic. They could have attacked already if they wanted to, President Santos replied. Let's hear what they have to say. Dr. Lisa Monroe arrived at the White House just as the alien message was ending. She was immediately brought into the meeting. Dr. Monroe, you're our expert on space signals. What do you think? The president asked. I've been tracking their energy signatures for months, Lisa said. They've been watching us for over a year. The fact that they're revealing themselves now means they've decided we're ready for contact. Ready for what? General Hayes asked. That's what we need to find out, Lisa replied. The next day, the aliens sent a small ship to land on the White House lawn. Commander Zethkar emerged with 2 other aliens. They looked almost human, but their blue skin and large eyes made it clear they were from another world. President Santos met them in the Rose Garden. The meeting was broadcast live around the world. President Santos Zethkar said, we are honored to meet you. We represent the Galactic Council, a group of peaceful species that work together across the stars. Welcome to Earth, President Santos replied. What do you want from us? We want to help you, Zethkar said. Your species has great potential. We can share our technology with you. We can teach you about the galaxy. We can help you join the greater community of intelligent life. It sounded wonderful. Too wonderful. Dr. Lisa Monroe was in the audience, watching carefully. Something about the alien's words bothered her. He talked about helping humans, but he also talked about them like they were children who needed guidance. General Hayes was thinking the same thing. He had fought in wars and knew when someone was trying to manipulate him. The aliens were being too friendly, too helpful. Over the next few weeks, the aliens showed humans some of their technology. They had weapons that could destroy mountains. They had ships that could travel faster than light. They had computers that could think like living beings. This is amazing, Dr. Lisa Monroe said as she studied an alien device. But why are they only showing us basic things? Where are the real secrets? Dr. Ben Parker, a scientist who studied alien life, was also suspicious. They keep talking about what's appropriate for us to know. Like we're not smart enough to understand their advanced technology. On Mars, Alex Carter was watching the news about the aliens. He had been working on his pattern reader, making it more powerful. If the aliens were going to share technology, he wanted to be ready to understand it. He had not told anyone about his device yet. Something told him to wait, to keep it secret, until he knew more about these visitors. Captain Jake Sullivan was back on Earth, working with the military to monitor the alien ships. He had been promoted to major after his reports about the energy readings proved correct. Sir, he said to General Hayes, I've been studying their ships. They're powerful, but they're also old. The technology looks like it hasn't been updated in centuries. What does that mean? General Hayes asked. Either they're very confident in their old technology, or they're not showing us their best stuff, Jake replied. General Hayes nodded. He had the same feeling. The aliens were holding back. Meanwhile, Commander Zethkar was reporting to his superiors through a secret communication system. High Command, the humans are reacting as expected. They are eager to learn from us, and grateful. For our help. They do not suspect our true intentions. Excellent. How long until we can begin the relocation process? 6 months, as planned. By then, they will trust us completely. We can move them to the reservation worlds without resistance. What about their military? Primitive. Chemical weapons and nuclear missiles. Their space fleet is tiny. They pose no threat to our plans. Zethkar was confident. The humans were exactly what they appeared to be, a young, weak species that could be easily controlled. But some humans were not as trusting as the aliens believed. Dr. Lisa Monroe had been analyzing the alien technology for weeks. She was beginning to see patterns that worried her. The aliens always demonstrated their power, but they never explained how it worked. They talked about sharing knowledge, but they only gave humans simple things. It's like they're treating us like pets, she said to Dr. Parker. They show us tricks, but they don't teach us real science. Dr. Parker agreed. I've been studying their biology. They're not as advanced as they claim. Their bodies show signs of genetic manipulation, like they've been altered by someone else. You think they're not the real power behind this? Lisa asked. I think they're middle management, Parker replied. General Hayes was organizing secret meetings with military leaders around the world. Not everyone trusted the aliens, and some countries were quietly preparing for trouble. We need to be ready, General Hayes told his staff. If these aliens are not what they seem, we need to be prepared to defend ourselves. On Mars, Alex Carter made a breakthrough with his pattern reader. He had been testing it on human technology and alien samples. The device was getting better at understanding how things worked, but when he tested it on a piece of alien metal, something strange happened. The device showed him patterns that looked familiar. The alien technology was based on the same principles as human science, just more advanced. They're not that different from us, Alex said to himself. If I can understand their patterns, maybe I can copy their technology. He decided to work harder on his device. If the aliens were hiding something, his pattern reader might be able to figure out what it was. President Santos was getting reports from around the world. The aliens were making the same offers to every country, advanced technology in exchange for cooperation. But the cooperation always seemed to involve giving up some independence. They want to set up bases on Earth, she told her advisors. They say it's for our protection, but it sounds like occupation to me. What do we do? Her aide asked. We keep talking, but we also keep our options open, President Santos replied, and we find out what they really want. The aliens had been on Earth for 2 months. They seemed friendly and helpful, but more and more humans were starting to ask questions. Why were the aliens so interested in Earth's resources? Why did they want to relocate humans to other planets? Why were they always talking about what was best for humanity? Commander Zethkar was beginning to worry. Some humans were asking too many questions. Some were even refusing to cooperate with the alien plans. Perhaps we should move faster, he reported to his superiors. Some humans are becoming suspicious. Stick to the plan, came the reply. We need them to trust us completely before we reveal the truth. Once they are relocated, it will not matter what they think. But Zethkar was wrong about one thing. The humans were not as helpless as he believed. Some of them were already preparing for war. Dr. Lisa Monroe could not sleep. She had been studying the aliens for 3 months now, and something was very wrong. The technology they shared was always incomplete. The explanations they gave never made complete sense, and their questions about Earth's resources were getting more specific every day. She sat in her lab at midnight, looking at data from around the world. The aliens had been asking about mining locations, population centers, and transportation networks. They claimed it was for development planning, but Lisa knew better. They're not here to help us, she said to herself. They're here to take what they want. Her computer chimed with a message from Dr. Ben Parker. He had been studying the aliens. biological samples, and had found something important. "Lisa, you need to see this," the message said. "Meet me at the lab tomorrow. What I found will change everything." Meanwhile, on Mars, Alex Carter was working late in his workshop. His pattern reader had become much more powerful over the past few months. He had been secretly scanning every piece of alien technology he could find. What he discovered made him sick to his stomach. The alien technology was not just advanced human science. It was human science. The energy patterns, the mathematical principles, even the basic design concepts were all based on human ideas. But they were human ideas from the future. "They've been stealing our technology," Alex said. "They've been watching us, learning from us, and then pretending it's their own." Alex realized something else. If the aliens were using human technology, then humans could understand it. More importantly, humans could copy it, improve it, and maybe even use it against the aliens. He started working on a new version of his pattern reader. This one would not just understand alien technology. It would be able to control it. Captain Jake Sullivan, now Major Sullivan, was leading a secret mission in the asteroid belt. General Hayes had ordered him to investigate some strange readings that had been detected near the outer planets. What Jake found made him angry. There were alien mining operations throughout the solar system. They had been quietly extracting resources for months, taking metals and rare elements from asteroids and moons. "They're stealing from us," Jake reported to General Hayes. "They've been mining our solar system without permission." "How much have they taken?" General Hayes asked. "Enough to build a small fleet," Jake replied. "They're not here to help us. They're here to rob us." Back on Earth, Dr. Lisa Monroe met with Dr. Ben Parker in his secure laboratory. What he showed her confirmed her worst fears. "I've been analyzing the alien biological samples," Dr. Parker said. "They're not from one species. They're from dozens of different species that have been combined into one." "What does that mean?" Lisa asked. "It means they're not naturally evolved. Someone created them. Someone took the best parts of different species and built these aliens to be perfect workers." Lisa felt cold. "Workers for who?" "That's the question," Dr. Parker replied. "I don't think the Corvani are the real power here. I think they're slaves, just like they want to make us." Commander Zethkar was receiving angry messages from his superiors. The human governments were asking too many questions. Some countries were refusing to cooperate with the alien plans. Worst of all, some humans were starting to discover the truth. "The humans are more suspicious than we expected," Zethkar reported. "They are asking about our mining operations. They want to know why we need so many resources." "Tell them it's for their benefit," came the reply. "Tell them we're building ships to relocate them to better worlds." "Some of them don't want to be relocated," Zethkar said. "They want to stay on their home planet." There was a long pause. Then, change of plans. "We move to Phase 2 immediately. Begin the relocation process now. Use force if necessary." Zethkar was worried. The plan had been to gain the humans' trust completely before revealing the truth. Now, they would have to use threats and violence. That was much more dangerous. President Santos was in an emergency meeting with world leaders. Reports were coming in from around the globe. The aliens were becoming more demanding, more aggressive. They were no longer asking for cooperation. They were demanding it. "They want us to shut down our space programs," the president said. "They want us to stop exploring our own solar system. They say it's for our own safety. It's because they don't want us to find their mining operations," said the British Prime Minister. "Our satellites have detected unauthorized activity throughout the solar system." General Hayes entered the meeting room with urgent news. "Ma'am, we've intercepted alien communications. They're planning to relocate most of humanity to other planets. They call them reservation worlds." "Reservation worlds?" President Santos asked. "Prison planets," General Hayes replied. "They want to keep us alive. But they don't want us on Earth. They want our planet for themselves. The room was silent. The truth was finally clear. The aliens were not here to help humanity. They were here to steal Earth and enslave its people. What are our options? President Santos asked. We fight, General Hayes said. We may not win, but we don't have a choice. Dr. Lisa Monroe was working frantically in her lab. She had been analyzing the alien ships for weeks, looking for weaknesses. She had found something that might help. The alien ships are powerful, but they're not perfect, she told the emergency science team. They have energy shields, but the shields have a specific frequency. If we can match that frequency, we might be able to disrupt them. How do we do that? Asked Dr. Parker. We need to understand their technology better, Lisa replied. We need someone who can read their systems and figure out how they work. On Mars, Alex Carter was having the same thought. His pattern reader could now analyze alien technology in real time, but he needed to get closer to the alien ships to use it effectively. He made a decision. He would contact Earth and offer to help. His device might be the key to fighting the aliens, but first, he needed to test it. There was a small alien probe near Mars, probably watching the human colonies. Alex decided to see if his pattern reader could control it. He pointed his device at the probe and activated it. The screen lit up with information about the probe's systems. Alex smiled. He could see everything: the probe's power source, its communication systems, even its weapons. More importantly, he could control them. Alex sent a command through his pattern reader. The alien probe stopped moving. He sent another command. The probe's communication system shut down. With a third command, he made the probe's power source overload. The probe exploded in a burst of light. It works, Alex said. I can control their technology. He immediately sent a message to Earth. This is Alex Carter on Mars. I have developed a device that can control alien technology. I repeat, I can control their systems. The message reached General Hayes within hours. He immediately ordered Alex to return to Earth. Bring your device, the general said. We're going to need it. Meanwhile, Commander Zethkar was receiving disturbing reports. One of his probes near Mars had been destroyed. There had been no human ships in the area, no weapons fire. The probe had simply exploded. How is this possible? Zethkar asked his officers. Unknown, Commander. The probe's systems show it was turned off remotely, but we don't know how. Zethkar felt a chill. The humans were not supposed to be able to do that. Their technology was too primitive, unless it wasn't. Run a full scan of all human activity, Zethkar ordered. I want to know what they're really capable of. But it was too late. The humans had been hiding their true abilities for too long. The aliens were about to discover that Earth was not the helpless world they thought it was. Dr. Lisa Monroe received word that Alex Carter was coming to Earth with a device that could control alien technology. She could hardly believe it. How? Is that possible? She asked General Hayes. I don't know, but if it's true, it changes everything. The general replied. President Santos was preparing for the worst. The aliens were becoming more aggressive every day. They were demanding that humans abandon their space programs and submit to alien authority. We need to buy time, she told her advisors. We need to keep the aliens calm until we can figure out how to fight them. But High Counselor Vexstar, the supreme commander of the alien forces, was running out of patience. He had been watching the human situation from his massive ship hidden behind the moon. The humans are taking too long to comply, he told Commander Zethkar. Begin the relocation process immediately. Move the humans to the reservation worlds. Use whatever force is necessary. Yes, High Counselor, Zethkar replied. How many humans should we relocate? All of them, Vexstar said. Earth is too valuable to share with primitive species. The conversation was intercepted by human intelligence. Within hours, every government on Earth knew the truth. The aliens planned to remove all humans from their home planet. The time for pretending was over. The time for fighting had begun. General Hayes issued orders to military units around the world. Prepare for war. The aliens are not our friends. They are our enemies. Defend Earth at all costs. But the humans had a secret weapon now. Alex Carter and his pattern reader were on their way to Earth. The aliens thought they understood human technology, but they were wrong. The humans had been hiding their true capabilities for centuries. Now it was time to show the galaxy what Earth was really capable of. The war for Earth was about to begin. Alex Carter's ship landed at a secret military base in Nevada. He had never seen so many soldiers in one place. Everyone looked tense, ready for war. General Hayes met him at the landing pad. "Show me this device," the general said without wasting time. Alex pulled out his pattern reader. It looked like a simple tablet computer, nothing special. But when he activated it and pointed it at a nearby military truck, the screen filled with detailed information about every system in the vehicle. "I can read any technology," Alex explained. "But more importantly, I can control it. If I can get close enough to alien ships, I can shut them down." "How close?" General Hayes asked. "A few hundred meters. Maybe less for their bigger ships." General Hayes smiled. "We can work with that." He led Alex to a secure briefing room where President Santos was waiting with her top advisors. Dr. Lisa Monroe was there too, along with several other scientists. "Mr. Carter," President Santos said, "your device could save us all, but we need to tell you something first. The aliens are not the only ones who have been keeping secrets." She nodded to General Hayes, who pressed a button on the wall. The room's windows darkened, and a large screen appeared, showing images that made Alex's eyes grow wide. "For the past 100 years, we've been preparing for this day," President Santos said. "We knew that someday, someone would come to Earth with superior technology. We decided to be ready." The screen showed underground cities, hidden factories, and massive shipyards built inside hollowed-out mountains. There were weapons that looked like science fiction, and ships that were sleek and fast. "We've been pretending to be primitive," Dr. Lisa Monroe explained. "Our real technology is much more advanced than what we show the world. We wanted any visitors to underestimate us. The chemical rockets you saw on the news, those are for show," General Hayes added. "Our real ships use space-time manipulation. We can travel faster than anything the aliens have." Alex stared at the images. "How long have you been planning this?" "Since the 1940s, President Santos replied. "After World War II, some very smart people realized that technology was advancing too fast. They knew that someone from space might notice us eventually, so they created two worlds. The public world that everyone sees, and the secret world that's been preparing for contact." "Why didn't you tell everyone?" Alex asked. "Because secrets are only secret if most people don't know them," General Hayes explained. "We needed the aliens to believe we were primitive. It was our only advantage." Admiral Kate Lewis entered the room. She was tall and confident, with the bearing of someone who had commanded starships for years. "Mr. Carter, I'm Admiral Lewis. I command Earth's hidden fleet. We have over 200 ships ready for combat, all using technology that's been developed in secret for decades." Alex was amazed. 200 ships. Where are they? Some are on the far side of the moon. Others are hidden in the asteroid belt. A few are cloaked in Earth's orbit, Admiral Lewis replied. "We've been watching the aliens just as closely as they've been watching us. But your device changes everything," Dr. Lisa Monroe said. "If we can control their technology, we don't just have to fight them. We can turn their own weapons against them." President Santos leaned forward. "Alex, we need to know. Can your device work on their biggest ships?" "I think so," Alex replied. "But I'd need to test it first." "We have something for you to test on," Admiral Lewis said with a smile. She led the group to an elevator that went down much deeper than should have been possible. When the doors opened, Alex found himself in a massive underground hangar. In the center was an alien ship. "We captured this scout ship 3 weeks ago," Admiral Lewis explained. "The crew is in our custody. We've been studying it ever since." Alex approached the ship with his pattern reader. The device immediately began showing him information about the ship's systems, power source, weapons, engines, everything. "It's amazing," Alex said. "I can see how everything works, and I can control it." He sent a command through his device. The alien ship's engines started humming. Another command made the weapon systems activate. A third command shut everything down. "Perfect," General Hayes said. "Now we can fight back." Over the next week, Alex worked with Earth's hidden scientists to improve his pattern reader. They built dozens of copies and installed them on human ships. They also discovered something important. The device worked both ways. It could not only control alien technology, but it could also hide human technology from alien sensors. "We can make our ships invisible to them," Dr. Lisa Monroe explained. "They won't see us coming." Meanwhile, Commander Zethkar was growing more worried. His superiors were demanding faster action, but the humans were not cooperating. Some countries were openly refusing to follow alien orders. "High Counselor," Zethkar reported, "the humans are becoming more resistant. They are asking too many questions about our intentions." "Then stop asking for their cooperation," High Counselor Vexta replied. "Begin the relocation process immediately. Use force if they resist." "Yes, High Counselor. How many ships should I use?" "All of them. 50 battlecruisers should be enough to subdue this primitive world." But Vextar was wrong. Earth was not primitive, and it was not defenseless. The next morning, alien ships appeared over every major city on Earth. But this time, they were not there to negotiate. They were there to force humanity to surrender. "People of Earth," Commander Zethkar's voice echoed from every speaker on the planet. "You have been chosen to join the Galactic Council. You will be relocated to worlds better suited for your species. Resistance is futile." President Santos was in the secret command center, watching the alien ships on her screens. She turned to General Hayes and Admiral Lewis. "It's time," she said. "Show them what Earth is really capable of." Admiral Lewis opened a communication channel to the hidden fleet. "All ships, this is Admiral Lewis. Operation Homecoming is now active. Decloak and engage." Across the solar system, human ships began appearing out of nowhere. They had been hidden, using advanced stealth technology, invisible to alien sensors. The aliens had thought they were watching empty space, but they were actually surrounded by human warships. The human ships were beautiful and deadly. They were sleek, fast, and armed, with weapons that the aliens had never seen before. More importantly, they were all equipped with Alex Carter's pattern readers. "Fire," Admiral Lewis ordered. The human ships opened fire with energy weapons that could slice through alien hulls like paper. But more importantly, they used Alex's devices to take control of alien systems. Alien ships found their weapons turning against each other. Their engines shut down without warning. Their shields failed at the worst possible moments. Commander Zethkar watched in horror as his fleet was destroyed in minutes. "How is this possible?" he screamed. "Their technology is primitive." "Not anymore," came a voice from his communication system. It was Admiral Lewis, speaking from our flagship. "We've been waiting for you." On the alien command ship, High Counselor Vextar could not believe what he was seeing. The humans had not just defeated his fleet. They had completely outclassed it. "Impossible," he said. "Our intelligence said they were barely spacefaring." "Your intelligence was wrong," Admiral Lewis replied. "We've been preparing for this day for over a century. We knew someone would come eventually. We just didn't know it would be you." The battle was over in less than an hour. Every alien ship was either destroyed or captured. The aliens who survived were taken prisoner. President Santos addressed the world from the secret command center. People of Earth, the alien threat has been defeated, but more importantly, it's time for you to learn the truth about your own planet. The secret was finally revealed. The underground cities, the hidden technology, the advanced ships, all of it was shown to the world. Humanity had been living a lie for a century, but it was a lie that had saved them. We are not primitive, President Santos continued. We are not helpless. We are humanity, and we are far more advanced than anyone in the galaxy realizes. Dr. Lisa Monroe was analyzing the captured alien ships when she made a disturbing discovery. These ships are not from one species, she told the command team. They're from dozens of different species, all of them extinct. What does that mean? President Santos asked. It means the Corvani are not the real enemy, Dr. Lisa replied. They're just the latest species to be conquered by whoever is really in charge. Alex Carter was studying the alien technology when he realized something important. The real controllers, whoever they are, they're not here. These ships are automated, controlled from somewhere else. Admiral Lewis understood immediately. We didn't win the war. We just won the first battle. But General Hayes was smiling. Then it's a good thing we're just getting started. On Earth, the secret was out. Humanity's true technology was revealed to the world. The hidden cities opened their doors. The advanced ships landed in public view. The aliens had come to Earth expecting to find a primitive world. Instead, they had found a trap that had been set for over a century. But the real war was just beginning, somewhere in the galaxy. The true masters of the alien fleet were learning that Earth was not what it seemed, and Earth was learning that it was not alone in the universe. There were other species out there, other worlds that had been conquered and enslaved. The time had come for humanity to take its place in the galaxy, not as slaves, but as liberators. The next phase of the war was about to begin. 6 months after the alien defeat, Alex Carter stood on the bridge of the starship Freedom. He was now Earth's chief technology officer, and his pattern reader had been improved far beyond what he had ever imagined. Alex, we're approaching the Corvani homeworld, Admiral Kate Lewis said. Are you ready? Alex nodded. His new device could now control entire fleets of ships from thousands of miles away. But more importantly, it could free enslaved species from their controllers. The question is, are they ready for us? Alex replied. Earth's fleet had grown to over 500 ships in just 6 months. Once the secret technology was revealed, human engineers had worked day and night to build more vessels. They had also rescued the crews of alien ships and learned about the galaxy they were entering. Dr. Lisa Monroe was now Earth's ambassador to the galaxy. She had spent months talking to alien prisoners, learning about their homes and their masters. What she discovered was both horrible and hopeful. The Corvani were once a peaceful species, she reported to President Santos. They were conquered 300 years ago by something called the Dominion. The Dominion takes over species and uses them as soldiers and workers. How many species have they conquered? President Santos asked. Over 200, Lisa replied. The Dominion has been growing for thousands of years. They control most of this part of the galaxy. Not anymore, said General Hayes. We're going to change that. The human fleet emerged from faster-than-light travel near the Corvani homeworld. What they saw made everyone angry. The planet was covered with factories and mining operations. The Corvani people lived in small areas while machines took everything valuable from their world. This is Admiral Lewis of the Earth Fleet, Kate broadcast to the planet. We're here to free you from the Dominion. Will you help us? The response came from the planet's surface. It was a Corvani voice, but it sounded different from Commander Z. This one sounded hopeful. Earthships, this is Resistance Leader Kethmer. We have been waiting for someone like you for 3 centuries. Yes, we will help you fight. The battle for the Corvani homeworld began immediately. Dominion ships appeared from hidden bases throughout the system. They were huge, dark vessels that looked like metal insects, but the Dominion had never fought humans before. They did not understand Alex Carter's technology. "Alex, can you take control of their ships?" Admiral Lewis asked. "Already working on it," Alex replied. His fingers moved across his device's controls. On the screen, he could see the patterns of every Dominion ship in the system. One by one, the Dominion ships stopped firing. Their weapons turned on each other. Their engines shut down. Within an hour, the entire enemy fleet was floating helplessly in space. "How?" came a voice from the largest Dominion ship. It was deep and mechanical, like a computer trying to sound alive. "We're human," Admiral Lewis replied. "We don't give up, and we don't follow orders from anyone." The voice was silent for a long moment. Then, "Impossible. Humans are level 2, primitive, weak." "Your information is about a century out of date," Alex said, speaking into the communication system. "We're not primitive anymore, and we're certainly not weak." On the Corvini homeworld, the people were celebrating. For the first time in 3 centuries, they were free from Dominion control. Kethmer met with Dr. Lisa Monroe to plan their next move. "There are other worlds," Kethmer explained. "Hundreds of them, all enslaved by the Dominion. If you can free them, they will join your fight." "We're not here to build an empire," Dr. Lisa replied. "We're here to free people. Each world can choose its own path. That is why we will follow you," Kethmer said. "The Dominion rules by fear. You lead by choice." Over the next year, the human fleet grew larger as more species joined the fight. The Vectari, a species of brilliant engineers, helped improve human technology. The masters of space travel showed humans new ways to move between stars. The Morphins, who could change their shape, became the perfect spies and scouts. Each victory brought new allies. Each liberated world added ships to the growing fleet. The Dominion had never faced anything like this before. Alex Carter's pattern reader had evolved into something beyond his wildest dreams. It could now control entire star systems, shutting down Dominion technology across multiple worlds at once. "The Dominion is afraid," he reported to Admiral Lewis. "They're pulling back from the outer worlds and concentrating their forces at their home systems." "Good," Admiral Lewis replied. "Let them concentrate. It'll make them easier to beat." But the Dominion had one more surprise. Deep in their home system, they had built something terrible, a machine that could destroy entire star systems. It was their ultimate weapon, designed to wipe out any species that threatened their rule. "They call it the System Killer," reported Captain Jake Sullivan, who had been promoted to admiral after several successful battles. "It's the size of a small moon and can destroy a sun." President Santos was in the command center on Earth, watching the reports from the front lines. The war had been going well, but this system killer changed everything. "Can Alex's device control it?" she asked. "I don't know," Admiral Lewis replied. "It's too big, too complex. Even Alex's technology has limits." But Alex was already working on a solution. He had been studying Dominion technology for over a year, and he had learned something important. The Dominion was not as advanced as they pretended to be. "Their technology is stolen," he explained to the War Council. "Every advanced system they have came from a species they conquered. They're not innovators. They're just thieves." "What does that mean?" General Hayes asked. "It means they don't understand their own technology," Alex replied. "They just copy what works. If I can find the original source of their system killer, I might be able to control it." The answer came from an unexpected source. Former Commander Zethkar, who had been cooperating with humans since his capture, provided crucial information. "The system killer was built by the ancients," he explained. "They were the first species the Dominion conquered over 10,000 years ago. But the ancients were very clever. They built hidden controls into all their technology." "Hidden controls?" Dr. Lisa Monroe asked. Yes, they knew someday someone would need to stop the Dominion, so they built backdoors into every system. Even the system killer has them. Alex smiled. Then we can control it. We just need to find the right frequency. The final battle took place in the Dominion's home system. It was a massive star system with 12 planets, all covered with factories and military bases. At its center was the system killer, a dark sphere the size of Earth's moon. The human fleet, now numbering over 3,000 ships from dozens of species, appeared at the edge of the system. They were facing the entire remaining Dominion fleet, over 10,000 ships and countless defense platforms. "This is it," Admiral Lewis said to her captains. "If we win here, the Dominion is finished. If we lose, they'll destroy every world we've liberated." The battle began with the largest space combat in galactic history. Ships fought across the entire star system. Energy weapons lit up the darkness of space. Explosions bloomed like deadly flowers. But the real battle was between Alex Carter and the system killer. He sat in his command center, his advanced pattern reader connected to every human ship in the fleet. He was searching for the ancient frequency that would let him control the Dominion's ultimate weapon. "I found it," he said suddenly. "The ancients built their back door into the quantum structure of the machine. If I can match their frequency exactly." He input the commands. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the system killer stopped charging its weapons. "It's working," Alex said. "I have control." The Dominion's mechanical voice echoed across the battle. "Impossible. The system killer cannot be controlled." "You're wrong," Alex replied. "The ancients built it to be controlled. They were just waiting for someone worthy to use it." With the system killer under human control, the battle turned quickly. The massive weapon turned on Dominion ships, destroying them with their own ultimate weapon. The Dominion fleet, seeing their greatest creation used against them, began to surrender. "This is Admiral Lewis to all Dominion forces," Kate broadcast. "Surrender now, and you will be treated fairly. Continue fighting, and you will be destroyed." The surrender came within hours. The Dominion, which had ruled the galaxy for thousands of years, was finally defeated, but the humans were not finished. President Santos addressed the galaxy from the Bridge of the Freedom. "People of all worlds, the Dominion is defeated, but we are not here to replace one empire with another. We are here to create something new, a free worlds alliance, where every species chooses its own path." The response from across the galaxy was overwhelming. Hundreds of worlds that had been enslaved for centuries wanted to join the alliance. They wanted to be free, to choose their own governments, to control their own destinies. Dr. Lisa Monroe became the first Secretary General of the Free Worlds Alliance. Her job was to help species learn to govern themselves after centuries of slavery. Alex Carter continued to improve his technology, but now he used it to help rebuild worlds instead of fighting wars. His pattern readers helped former slaves understand and repair their own technology. Admiral Lewis led the Alliance fleet, protecting new member worlds from pirates and other threats. But most of her time was spent exploring the galaxy, making contact with species that had hidden from the Dominion for thousands of years. General Hayes established the Alliance Academy, where young beings from all species learned to work together. He wanted to make sure that no one would ever again have to face conquest alone. Former Commander Zethkar became an ambassador for the Alliance, helping other conquered species understand that they could be free. He often said that losing to the humans was the best thing that ever happened to his people. The Corvani homeworld was cleaned up and restored to its natural beauty. The factories were torn down and replaced with parks and cities. The Corvani people, free for the first time in centuries, began to remember what it meant to be themselves. But the greatest change was on Earth itself. The secret was out, and humanity had taken its place as a major power in the galaxy. The hidden cities became centers of learning and research. The advanced technology was shared with everyone. President Santos often stood in her office, looking up at the stars. Earth had gone from being a target for conquest to being the heart of the largest free alliance in galactic history. How did we do it? She asked Alex Carter during one of their meetings. We did what humans always do, Alex replied. We adapted, we learned, we refused to give up. And when someone tried to control us, we said no. And now we help others say no too. The galaxy was free, and it was just the beginning. Humanity had learned that they were not alone in the universe. More importantly, they had learned that freedom was worth fighting for. No matter how impossible the odds seemed, the aliens had seen Earth's old technology and thought they understood humanity. They had never imagined what would come next, a species that could change the course of galactic history in just 2 years. The Age of Empires was over. The Age of Freedom had begun, and it all started with a young engineer on Mars who refused to believe that humanity was helpless.